So you bought a kayak secondhand and you want to put a motor on it, but it doesn't have any stickers on it and it's never been registered. So what do? Shout out to Sweeting Bait Company for sponsoring this video, season, kayak, pretty much everything. So if you're anything like me, you've been in the spot of, I want to put a motor on my kayak, and it's a little bit more involved than just putting a motor on a kayak and strapping it to a battery and going, especially if you live in the great state of New York where we have laws and stuff that you have to abide by. So before you can slap them shiny numbers and the nice reflective sticker on the side, you're going to have to get some forms and some paperwork from the Department of Motor Vehicle in order to get that kayak registered. And as of today's date, which is May 5th, I'm going to walk you guys on how to do this for the first time. This doesn't fully apply if it's already been registered, but if you are the first person to register it and you don't have a dealership helping you out, I'm going to help you out. So the first thing you're going to need before you hop in the old truckster and head to your local DMV is going to be the hull identification number, the HIN. Usually that is on the rear of the kayak. Sometimes it's the rear right side of the kayak. Mine on the New Canoe Frontier 12 is right here by the caution warning safety sticker, right on the stern of the boat, right in the center, about a foot off of the back. All right, next we're going to get into the maybe more tricky stuff. You're going to need to fill out a form called an MV82B. That is going to be the kind of an ownership or a registration form. You can get that online. I'll have it tagged right below for the New York State DMV. Sorry, I'm not going to get every single state, or I'm not even sure if that's the right form for every state, but I'll get New York below because I know that's the one we need. The next form is going to be called a DTF 802. That is going to be your tax form to obviously pay tax to our great state of New York. We're getting close to the camera here for a reason. This is important. You are going to need that kayak's certificate of origin. It is a form. I'll throw up a picture right here. It comes with the kayak at the original point of sale. If the person you are buying it from or bought it from does not have this, you will need to contact whatever manufacturer of your kayak is and request that they send you one. Might cost a couple bucks. You're going to need that form. All right, we're staying close to the camera here. This is also important. You will need also the original proof of purchase or proof of ownership, the original sales receipt from whatever dealership to whoever the original buyer is, or if that's yourself, you will need that. So you will need the original invoicing receipt from the dealer you bought it from to you, or whoever you're buying the kayak from, who they got it from. Okay? That is also important. Without these, you cannot put that boat on the water legally with a trolling motor. All right, guys, it is Fred. I am editing the video. It is later the same evening. I wanted to take just another quick second and reiterate how freaking important it is for you guys to make sure that you have the certificate of origin from, this will come from the manufacturer, whether that is Hobie or Jackson or New Canoe or Wilderness Systems or Native Kayak or Feel Free, whatever your kayak is, you need that certificate that will have their name on it, your whole number, basically saying that XYZ dealership authorized the sale of this kayak to, and then whoever the original purchaser was. The other thing is that sales receipt. You will need the original invoice receipt, whatever that might be, from the person who bought that kayak originally. And if you cannot get that, because we're all fishermen, we're all kayakers, we might just be irresponsible dudes and just throw paperwork to the side and I don't care about it, but without that paperwork, you can't not register that kayak in the state of New York. So you need to have that, and trust me, if you don't have a friend like I have Shane, who fortunately was able to get this information for us to be able to register this kayak, you're literally screwed, because you cannot usually get a hold of the dealership or the place of origin where that kayak was originally purchased from. They usually don't just hand out another person's receipt to you. So without that receipt and without that certificate of origin, you are literally up a creek without a trolling motor, without a registration on your kayak. So before you even buy that boat, make sure that whoever you're getting it from has at least those two things. The other forms, you can just print them offline and do them, and make sure you do the bill of sale, which we're going to talk about here in a second. And then, after that, you will need a proof of sale between the former owner and yourself. If you're buying this secondhand, if you're getting it from a buddy, a Facebook marketplace, I don't know if Craigslist even still a thing anymore, but if you're buying this from someone that's a friend or someone you don't know or whatever, you will need a proof of sale saying their name sold this kayak to your name. I would recommend putting it down the whole number and how much you paid for it. They sign it and date it. You sign it, you date it. Pretty simple. Write it on a piece of paper. The DMV is going to want that as well. Next, you're going to need your own identification, whether that's a driver's license or whatever legal identification that you can bring. You're going to need your identification at the DMV to prove that you are who you are. And finally, the last part, you're going to need your boater's safety certificate that is now required in the state of New York to operate any vessel on the waters, whether that is an actual boat, a kayak with a motor, a jet ski, anything that can move that is not controlled by your hands or feet. You need to now have a boater's safety certificate. You need to take that course and get that completed. So that is another requirement by the state. All right, so now you're going to bring all of that stuff to your local DMV, wait in the longest line in the world to talk with someone who might be miserable, might be in a good mood. Fortunately, today, I got a girl who was in a good mood. It was a good time. Very easy to do. You're going to hand her all your information. They're going to file all of the paperwork. Then at this time, it was $46.50 for me to register the kayak from today's date of May 5th, 2026 until May 5th of 2029. So you get 3 years of registration for $50. All right, now we're in the shop. So you've paid the money. You're good to go. They give you the cool looking shiny stickers. Well, these aren't all you're going to need. Going to want to go to your Walmart. Your local Walmart is where I got mine. I believe Bass Pro online. If you know someone with a Cricut, they can cut them as well. You're going to need a sticker kit. I got a black set. There's usually black or white, or if you want to do colors, I don't think that there's a law about the colors. These need to be a generic font, a block font, 3 inches tall. Okay? That's really the only requirement on them. I don't think that there's a color requirement. I went with black because the new canoe is a light tan, so it's kind of good contrast. You can easily read the numbers. If a police officer, Department of Environmental Conservation, or anyone needs to know what number my kayak is, they can find my registration proof. Forgot to say, this sticker pack at Walmart was like $12 or $13, so wasn't anything too crazy. And this has got enough numbers to do both sides of the boat as well. All right, so now we're at the side of the kayak. The first thing you're going to want to do before putting any stickers on is make sure that this is clean. Give it a good wipe down, little soap, water, maybe some alcohol. You want to remove anything of oil, any road debris, anything you might have picked up, gunk, stuff from the lake, the river, whatever that might be on the side. You don't want that on the side of your boat because it won't allow them stickers to stick. All right, now got the numbers on. They're all on great. On the back of your registration tags from the DMV, they kind of give you a how to do this. Now, I've done this on a boat before. I kind of have an idea of how it goes. But it says right here, they should be placed in line with and 3 inches to the stern, the back, of the registration numbers here on each side of the hull of your boat. So we're going to take the first one. These are stickers. Peel them right off. See the nice shininess. You go about 3 inches back, roughly, right in line with your numbers. I'm going to stick that right on. work out any little bubbles or anything. We put it on pretty good that time. So look at us, one shot and we're good to go. Now this is showing obviously the state, the year that the registration is good till, and it's marked for the month. So this will end the end of April of 29. They don't go by specific dates, they'll just go by the whole month. So now that we've stickered it up, we are good to do the same on the other side, and I will be right back. I'm just going to go do that quick. All right, guys, so we're back outside here. This is your registration. I kind of covered mine up just to protect my identity, as all of my info is on that, but you're going to want to keep your registration paper safe. You don't have to have it with you on the boat. And then this, if you ever go to sell your kayak, you're going to be using this as the sale. You'll sign the back and transfer ownership to the new owner, and they won't have to jump through all of the hoops that you just jumped through. So I hope this helped. I'll probably do a little bit of an edit inside just to show you guys all these forms and everything. I appreciate you all tuning in. If this helped you in any way, please like, subscribe, share this to your friends. For me to find this information was 2 trips to the DMV, and a lot of my friends that have motors on kayaks just had their dealership do it, so it was kind of a tough thing. So I hope that this helps you guys at least get all the information before you buy the kayak that's out of state and then figure out you can't register it because the former owner lost all of the paperwork. So I hope that this helps you guys, like I just said, and I hope you guys catch massive fish with a trolling motor.